Baby, we are officially in there. We are one of 15 IRS approved software companies in the United States of America, meaning there's no other company at all doing what we do that look like us.
It's just something that I live. It's just something that I live. It's just something that I live that this world don't live. It's just something that I feel that this world don't feel. I gotta keep it real. J.E.
Welcome to the Let Bob podcast. It's your boy Ant. Again, Dave not with me today, man. You know, I told you he's embracing that new one in his life. Got that baby boy coming in and showing him the ropes early on, getting that family time in. So we respect that at Bob. We embrace family at all times. So that's why he's not on with us today. Hopefully he'll return soon. But we got an exciting new Black-owned business to talk about today, man, in the space of taxes, baby. Oh, Jesus, I know it's different over there. Everybody knows the person you don't play with is Uncle Sam. And this group of young Black entrepreneurs have created some software to let us play in this space and be efficient and virtual all at the same time. The name of the company is TaxxWiz, and we happen to have one of the executives on today to talk about business and like understanding what the journey is in that space, because we know people like us generally not participating. And so for them to be creating and pioneering, you know, it's always exciting over here at Let Bob, because of course we're about Black-owned business. So today we have the Chief People Officer. I like that title too. Yeah. All corporations need one of a resource like yourself, and that's Ms. Bre Johnson. So we want to talk about today, just first of all, how did y'all even get in the tax space? That's a interesting industry to say, hey, I want to start something in the tax industry.
Well, that's the funny thing is Tevin, our CEO, he actually started he found out that his dad actually did taxes. And then it just kind of turned into a thing, you know, family business type of thing. But eventually he kind of realized that, no, I can actually do this and I can take over and I can make it my own. I can have my own business. I can have my own company. And the crazy thing about it is that, you know, he was doing taxes and not even necessarily knowing how involved his dad actually was, you know, in taxes. So next thing you know, he's like, yo, I want to build a team. So little by little, you know, myself, our CMO, Justin, COO, Olu, CTO, Jordan, we all pretty much came on board. But my story specifically is I was a broke college student and okay. I needed my taxes done. I saw that they was doing, this is before I was even a part of the company. I saw that they was doing it and I'm like, yo, bro, like, I got to get my taxes done. Like, what's up? Can I do them? I'm a student. I'm a scholarship athlete. Like, I don't know if I can do taxes, but I mean, I see you getting people $3,000 back. Is this something I can do? And he was like, what? Yeah, come on. And literally, I first was a client. And so I tell people all the time, I was moving like a co-founder when I was a client of the company. Okay. So I started off as a client. And next thing you know, I just started adding value naturally just because of the person I am. I'm like, yo, well, shoot, you getting me a refund, my whole team. We need some money. I got coaches that need to do their taxes. And then lo and behold, I just was able to kind of bring more and more people to the company. More and more students were able to start getting their, taxes done through our company. And then next thing you know, they looked at me like, nah, we can't do this without you. And so I was then promoted within the company. I signed paperwork with our lawyers and all that kind of stuff, made it official. And then, yeah, now we are a full, thriving, soon to be $1 billion company, just like that. You know, it's been 6 years, but to us, it's been a crazy journey. It's crazy what six years can turn into. Like, it looks like it's been just 6 months, right? Yeah. But everything is happening fast, and so we're excited.
No, that's cool. I think as a founder, that's what happens, right? It feels like it's going fast, but 6 years is definitely a long time. And people sometimes don't understand the work that goes into that 6 year journey. All the no's, right? All the trying to figure out while you're pioneering which direction to travel, right? And so now you're now feeling the fruits of that labor as you guys continue to accelerate in the marketplace. So as a Black-owned company in the space of taxes, are you guys one of the only, or, you know, I haven't heard of a Black-owned software on the tax space. So for me, I'm like, okay, we in there, right? We in there now. We in there. We at the table.
Baby, we are officially in there. We are one of 15 IRS approved software companies in the United States of America, meaning there's no other company at all doing what we do that look like us. And that's what we tell people is that there hasn't been a major innovation to the tax industry since TurboTax back in 1993. Now it's us. So we can't be denied. Right? We can't be denied. And TurboTax it benefited the consumer, right? The W-2 worker that want to go just do it themselves, get their taxes done, so on and so forth. But our software, it benefits the consumer and the CPA and the tax professional, because now we're helping people take that tax prep return time down from 4 hours to as little as 20 minutes. So now we're telling CPAs and tax professionals, hey, listen, with our software, we're putting you in a position to 10x your business. Because a fun fact is, H&R Block, they do about 400 returns in a single office. We did 600 returns in 30 days.
Wow.
So put it how you want to put it, but clearly the software is where it's at. It works. And so that's why we're excited to push it out to our people.
No, I love it. Oh, man. I love it. This day. Look, Black excellence, baby. No, I love it. No. So for us, at Bob, Black-owned business, where Bob stands for, of course, we love these type of stories. Like, we're innovating in our space. We're in the stock market. We're in that line. It's not people who look like us in that space. In the exchange traded fund space, ETF. It's like, think of a mutual fund, a modern version of a mutual fund. It's only 3 trading on the stock exchange that are Black-owned, and we so happen to be one of those 3. And to your point, we need this type of innovation. You need companies like TaxxWiz. You need companies like Bob, so that we can show our people what you can do with your mind, what you can do with technology. And so I love stories like this where you are an example. You've created it. You're doing it. It's not what you think you can do or what you're thinking about doing. It's something that's in the marketplace, being leveraged, adding value, and impacting our people in a positive manner. So talk to us a little bit about your CEO. You say he's, I think you told me earlier, he's from Pleasant Grove, Alabama, correct?
Yeah, he's out there in Birmingham, Alabama. And it's crazy because he's somebody who, he's all about impact. You know what I mean? And for me, when I decided to really be all in, because, we all went to Auburn together, right? Okay. We all went to Auburn. So I know these guys. They all were alphas, right? So I'm at all they parties, like, we knew each other from that dynamic. And so now it's completely different to say, like, we're actually doing business together. Now, he's somebody who is literally, all he cares about is impact. That's why our company, it isn't, a traditional LLC. We have a B Corp. We're a benefits corporation. Because we're super, super serious about the impact and providing, job opportunities and really just putting this information out there for the people. That's literally why we do what we do is for the people. You know what I mean? But Tevin, man, he's an awesome dude. He's an awesome father. He's an awesome husband. And I literally was having a conversation with him the other day. Like, it's a privilege to serve this vision, right? Because this is a vision that a lot of people don't have, and it's a vision that everybody can't carry, right? This ain't an easy mantle to carry, right? You're coming into a dinosaur industry where we don't have the quote unquote pedigree. None of us went to Yale. None of us went to Harvard. Yet we're able to participate in the program. I can't talk too much about it, but by the time people see this, they'll see what's going on. But we're able to participate in the program to where literally like less than 1% of companies get accepted, right? And so it's a beautiful thing just to be able to kind of partner with people who understand that and then say, you know what? No, I want to put women on the front street, right? I'm literally the only woman that's on the exec. I'm the only woman that's a co-founder. And it's crazy because, I'm surrounded by 4 guys every single day. They're my brothers at this point, every single day, especially during tax season. And we don't go a day without talking to each other. But that's what we did. We created a family first, and then now we're creating a community of people. And that's all Tevin really ever cared about was, I want to create a community. I want this to be for the people, and all of the knowledge that he gets. Tevin he's like a mini genius. Like I can't, like, he's a freaking mini genius. And it's like, he's so consistent with, I want to take this knowledge and I want to go give it to other people. He don't care if he's talking to, we met with Pharrell. We were able to win, the Black Ambition competition. So shout out to Black Ambition for pouring into us. And literally, he would get gems from Pharrell, who, by the way, is now the creative director at Louis Vuitton. And he'll come bring it right back to all of us, not just his executive team, but everybody that's in the company. You know what I mean? Nice. Like he's that serious about the impact and about just sharing knowledge with people. And so who wouldn't want to serve a vision like that and be a part of a company to where like we're literally impact first, then fun, then collaboration, then innovation. Those are our core values.
No, that's beautiful. And I think that's how good business should be ran, right? He sounds a lot like me, more of a servant leader. It's
Absolutely.
about impacting everybody, right? It's no just because you have this title, then your word carries more weight than this person who has that title. We're all one unit, we're all one team, and embracing that attitude, I think, gets the results you guys are seeing. And it makes the environment better. It's more
Absolutely.
collaborative, I think it's cool to see this Black success like this and this Black excellence because you can be yourself at work. In your environment with your people, you can just kind of take your hat off a little bit, relax a little bit, be yourself. I was in corporate for multiple years, man, and I was generally the only Black on the team in most cases. So I was a software engineer before I got on this Bob journey. I mainly was just in software, and then I got into finance. I would get into finance and learn still kind of only one of the Blacks. Not a lot of Blacks in finance either. And so with Bob, it was very important for us to build to your point, a family first environment. Build this environment where it's okay to be who you are, embrace your culture, embrace your exciting way of being, because we make everything different.
Make it lit, we make it fun.
We make it fun. Hey, we just turn it up, I was at a tech conference in Baltimore a couple weeks ago, and it's the first tech conference, man. They had a DJ, a bar, and it was lit. They were playing Dougie Fresh. They were doing the slide. It was like, okay, I'm home. Being in tech so long, I've been in tech since 2007. To see us see more Blacks get into the space, man, it just warms my heart, man, because it's something I've been, preaching and trying to spread the word since I've been in it. It's always been a lucrative field, and I love it because it doesn't matter the industry. You're in taxes, we're in investing. One group we were dealing with out in Baltimore, they build software for other people. You got healthcare, you got all these different angles you can apply technology, and it's impacting the world so significantly now. To get more of us in it is very imperative to our future and making sure we have a place in the history of things that are being created. So that's why I love this TaxxWiz product you guys have brought to the marketplace. We have to figure out how can Bob help? What can we do? How can we be a part of it? Like, you just got to just figure that out and get the word out as much as possible to get as many people in general, not just Black people, using your product, because we deserve our position in the marketplace as a TurboTax or H&R Block, all these companies you've heard all of our lives that don't look like us. So that's kind of cool to see you guys have the offering. So can you give us just high level, how does the service work? Give us an idea on the pricing or like what kind of, who's the customer that you're targeting? Can you give us that so the audience know how to find you and all that stuff?
So there's two sides to the TaxxWiz business, right? We have tax preparation and then we have software. So on the tax preparation side of the business, obviously TaxxWiz, we do taxes, we prepare tax. But not only that, we actually have a cohort. We have our own accelerator program. We have a cohort of people that we've taught how to do taxes, how to start their own tax business and earn money during tax season as well. And so we have a cohort right now of about 50 to 60 now tax professionals who have different offices all over the world who've started their own tax business using our tax software. Okay. And so with our cohort, with the way it works, usually the cohort, it costs about $150. Anyone who wants to join the cohort, they can hop on our wait list. The next one will be in July. But we literally take you through about 8 weeks of training, so on and so forth, to train you up to be, the best tax professional you possibly can be using our software, right? And the funny thing is, we did a little test and we compared our cohort to 3 tax professionals who've been doing taxes for at least a decade. Wiped them out. As far as returns, wiped them out, right? Because we actually study tax law. Like we know the industry, right? This isn't just about, we don't just do taxes. It's our lifestyle. For some people, they do taxes for the first quarter and that's it. No. We do taxes all 4 quarters. We study this. This is ingrained in us, right? We have someone who's literally dedicated to the law of taxes because they change, right? And so that's the first side of our business, is actually teaching people taxes, teaching people the tax business, so on and so forth, as far as being a tax preparation company, right? And then we have the software side of our business, right? And so right now we're in the beta version of our software. That's what our cohort 1 is using right now. This is our first cohort. So this is what they're using. They're using the beta version of our software. And so they're letting us know in real time, hey, if we put this button here, if we did this here, it'd be a lot easier. Hey, if we did this, that, and the third, it'd be a lot faster. So we literally have people right now in real time who are even helping us build our software out to be even better for next tax season. And so if you are someone who's a CPA or tax professional, and you're like, hey, I'm tired of paying this $3,000, annually, every single year for a tax software that stops me at a capacity of about 400 clients, right? Some only 300 clients. Right now, you have the position to hop on board with our software. We'll train you up on our software, show you how it works, all of those good things. And now your capacity goes from maybe being able to do 10 returns in a day just because they take you so long to now you could do 25, 30 returns in a day. So you're literally putting yourself in a position to make so much more money, so much more income, simply because now you have the capacity to do it. Because we've created a super user-friendly, right, software to where now you don't have to sit up here and try to get all this information, type all this stuff in. Like, that's why it takes them so long. And so now the data entry process is super, super simple. It's super simple for the tax professional. And obviously for, whoever your prospective client is at the time, we make it super easy now to where, like, hey, you say, hey, I want to get my taxes done with TaxxWiz. All right, great. You give me your information. Boom. I put it in our software. I shoot it right back off to you. You can stay where you at. I can stay where I'm at. And it's super simple, super easy. Within, 40 hours, 24 hours. Now you put yourself in a position where you got your tax return, and that's that. That's easy.
No, I love it. No, this is good. You're solving a real problem, right? And then you're increasing productivity. So quite naturally, hey, both sides of the spectrum needs what your guys are offering. So that's cool. Let me ask this: what are some challenges have you guys faced in this space, given that you are one of the only Blacks in the space, right? So how does that work?
Yeah, I would say one of the main challenges that we faced is making sure that people understand how big of an issue this actually is, right? Okay. So let's think about Uber, for example. People didn't really consider how much Uber could change the world. Why? Because taxis had just been in place for so long. This Uber thing, this doesn't really make sense. It's not going to make anything quicker, faster, better. How is this really going to change the world? You don't really understand that concept because you haven't seen it yet, right? But next thing you know, you got that one investor that gave Uber a chance. And so next thing you know, okay, boom, wow, now we see how this actually is super needed, super important. And so because we are in that dinosaur industry, right? That if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of industry, you're having to come in and say, no. Like, this is an issue. This is a problem. And this is exactly how it can be better. And so that's why now we do have our cohort in place and even our own statistics in place to show and prove, hey, no, listen, this is what happens when you have a better software in place, right? And so that's the beauty of it. And even just to take it a step further, we literally have programs in Birmingham, Alabama that had to go extinct in regards to helping low-income communities with their taxes and doing it for free. Why? Because they didn't have enough time to help everybody who needed it.
Yeah.
Now there's a whole program this is gone because they didn't have time. So now what happens when, okay, no, we're on a software to where, no, we can help 50 families in a day, right? Now we can do that. So this deeper than just like helping the CPA tax. No, we're talking about helping people, right? So I would say that's one of the main challenges that we face.
So talk to us again, give us a little bit more insight on this B Corp, like at high level, right? What's the difference between, a B Corp and your traditional LLC or your C and S Corp formations when you form your business? Like, can you talk to us? It's like the benefits of a B Corp, or how do they differ?
For sure. So the main thing about being a B corporation versus, a limited liability corporation is that when you're a B corporation, you're pretty much making a statement to the government, right? To the world that, hey, we're just as for profit as we are for people. And you're committed to making some sort of environmental, societal benefit to whatever industry it is that you're a part of. Right. So that's why for us, we are, super, super intentional about we do want to be able to hire on 500 people at a time. right? We do want to be able to use, whether it's funding, grant money, whatever the case may be, to make sure that we're putting other people and promoting other people in position. This tax season alone, right? Let me just use this tax season alone. We're only about a month and a half ish, into tax season, and we've literally already, from our first cohort, we've promoted about 8 people already. And tax season is really just now getting started. And so it's about that rapid growth, that rapid, we want to put other people in position to benefit from what we're doing, and not just us benefiting alone. And so it's kind of like that idea of we want to put the right people in the right places at the right time always.
No, I like that. I love that. At Bob, our 4 pillars are ownership, education, finance, and community, right? So we definitely believe in the same concept you guys have, right? We believe ownership is the key, because in order to truly change something, you definitely have to own things, right? But as a community, we all have to work together. It's no way you can truly bridge the racial wealth gap if we're not collectively working together and giving back to one another. Absolutely. So the fact that you guys are B Corp, it says a lot about you all as founders. It says a lot about your leadership and just as a company in general. And I think the attitude is there for most Black-owned businesses because we lived it, right? We went through this whole idea of watching our community just struggle so much. And, we all have friends that we've either lost by gun violence. Yeah. We have poverty stories left and right, family stories, funerals that can't get paid for. So we grow up in this journey where we're always seeing people in need and people, needing more access or more ability. And I think so that being kind of embedded in our experience as we grow up, I think we start, when we're creating products, we're kind of biased towards that attitude, and we start to embed it into our business. Because I know at Bob, it's a very huge thing to impact the community. For us, with our robo-advisor product, for an example, it was very important to me as a founder when I started this, that the only requirement to invest in the stock market should be money. You should not have to know what stock to pick. You should not have to know, how much money you should put on that stock. You should just only be able to bring money to the table and be able to experience it in the same way as everybody else. And it should not be you need $100,000 or you need $50,000. We should be able to meet you where you are. Yeah. And so when we built the robo-advisor, I was biased towards that attitude. I wanted a software technology that would allow Lil Pookie from the project, he had $200 that he saved up, he should be able to buy legitimate stocks. He should be able to own that, right? And so our robo-advisor, the cool thing about it, it selects a stock. Let me back up. If you provided money, you fund your account, it will select the stock, it will buy and sell those stocks for you without your input. It's a hands-off experience, but gives you the same benefits. Yeah. If you were a trader, if you knew what you were doing, if you were very first in the marketplace, Bob could run right alongside it with no problems, right? And so for us, that was very big, but I think it comes from that how I grew up, what I saw coming along, right? I saw a lot of people in need, people who looked like me, generally didn't have access, generally didn't have the ability, generally didn't have the literacy training, like all these things that was absent when coming along. We wanted to make sure that in our product, it was expressed so that we could lend it to the community as well. So I commend you guys for doing the same with your tax software. Because, hey, I grew up with us. Now, I know I gotta get my taxes in. You claiming people who ain't your people.
Man, listen.
Buying people, that was just the experience.
Or even, let me tell you this crazy story. And this is just how we are, what I'm saying, and how committed we are to making sure people, not being gypped for the sake of being gypped. So we had this one lady, this is this season. This one lady came to us to do her taxes, and the tax return that we gave her, she was like, yo, this is much lower than what I'm used to. And we're looking at it and we're like, legally, there's no way. Just because of our software, like, either we're going to compete with TurboTax, we'll never be lower. Never, ever. That's how the software is created. And so we're like, no, let's take a look at your previous year taxes. we look at her previous year taxes, and we saw that whoever her tax professional was, beforehand, for like, I think it might have been 2 years or so, had literally been putting like illegitimate expenses on her medical. Yeah. And that benefits him because now he get a lot of money off fees. Yeah. We're not about that. Right. And so next thing you know, a lot of people, they kind of say, hey, I want a big tax return, this, that, and the third. That's not what tax season is all about. Tax season is not about, hey, let me get a big tax return. All that means is you gave the government a lot of money during the year. That's all that means at the end of the day. Right. And so we were having to educate her and let her know, like, hey, if you would have did this for another year or two, you would have ran the risk of being audited. And it's because we literally had to take the time to like dive deep into her history, dive deep into, what she had going on and let her know like, hey, this is actually what you have been running into. And so I think it's just that education piece too, that a lot of people have to know is like, hey, and we let people know all the time, hey, if you don't get a tax return, that's fine. That's great. Tax season is not about, always let me get, a whole lot of money back, depending on the situation that you're in. However, if you are, that special person, we always say the special person is the person that's a W-2 with a side business. If you are that W-2 side business, not only do you have that W-2 income, but now you got that side business income. So you have those tax deductions and things like that available to you, right? The write-offs and all this type of stuff available to you. Because a lot of people think, oh, W-2, I'm a nurse, I can write off my scrubs. No, that's not how that works, sweetheart. That's not how it works. And so it's a lot of education that we do too. And so now literally every single tax return that we do, we offer like an actual consultation, just like this, me and you, and me letting you know exactly what's going on, exactly what you're looking like. And we're giving you a tax plan for the 2023 season, just so you don't have to run into I didn't know this, let me gather this, let me do that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's about really putting people in the best position possible for years to come as well.
No, I like that. I've had a CPA for years, right? And so my CPA does all of this, right? He's educating me on the best way to approach my tax situation, right? Because everybody's tax situation is unique, to your point. But I'm listening to you. I just took that for granted, right? Because most people just go and get their taxes done. They claim their kids or someone else's kids, and they get this big tax return. And if they don't get caught, in most cases, they buy their car, buy their rims. This is just how we experience the tax season, right? And so I like the innovative approach you guys are saying, where like, oh, wait a minute, let's back up. Let's make sure what you're doing is legal, first of all, and then let's give you a plan of attack moving forward. And it's interesting, there's tax literacy in there. And that's kind of cool because we're in the financial literacy space, so we deal with the same thing. Like, people want to buy stocks and like, well, I want to make $1 million tomorrow. And it's like, well, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. You want to own stocks. We want you to own stocks so you can create generational wealth. Absolutely. We're not trying to make you, a millionaire overnight. It's not. This happens. Yes, to your point, like a business owner can have certain write-offs when they're W-2 as well. But on average, you want to invest in the stock market over a long period of time. The goal is to generate generational wealth, right? And so we, as a culture, we're not present in the market. We're not investing. If it's not by way of retirement, we're not participating. Most of us get exposure to the stock market by way of a 401k. But if you would ask most of those people what's in their 401k, the average person couldn't tell you.
No idea.
No clue. And so what we're about is educating. In the same way you're saying, I think it's funny we're experiencing the same barrier in two different industries, but those industries are industries where people of color just don't really have representation from an ownership creator standpoint. So it's kind of funny.
That's why, even to the point of ownership, that's why we have an entire course to where we teach people how to own their own business, create their own business, LLC, so on and so forth, because something that I'm big on, which is why I'm kind of like the chief people officer, I'm big on mindset. Yes. If I can change your mind, I can change your life. Yes. Right? So it's like, before we even get to the nitty gritty over here on this side, like, how do you think? How do you even think about business? How do you think about taxes? Let's go ahead and address these things here. So now that when you start to get clients, right, you know exactly what to pour into them.
No, I like it. No, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Well, one more question before we let you go. And you kind of just stepped into it. Chief People Officer. Talk to us about that. I love that. I gotta look today. I'm announcing on this podcast. Bob is introducing a new position for a chief people officer. We gotta find one. I don't even know what it means, but I just love the name of it, and I just kind of have an idea what it means. So we have to identify our chief people officer moving forward.
So let's get into it. I have a background in sales, right?
Okay.
Direct sales, direct marketing, door-to-door business. I've done it all, right? But while I was in the sales industry, something in my spirit was like, I'm a little bit better than this, because sales can very easily turn into manipulation, right?
Yeah.
I done built sales teams, 100 million in revenue, so on and so forth. Like if I want something, I know how to get it. Okay, period. But eventually it got to a point to where, I don't know, God was kind of leading me to like, hey, Bre, you don't have to do sales. You could just do people. So it's not that I do sales really well. I just do people really well, right? And then in the process of that, I literally went to Tevin. I was like, yo, bro, because, you know, I got a technology degree too. I'm like, bro, I'm about to go back into the website. I'm about to change my name to Chief People Officer. he was like, oh, that's cool. I like that. Not knowing that billion-dollar companies, most of them have all moved away from chief of sales and are now gearing into chief people officer. I went on Google and went on Forbes, and I just saw that last month, Apple just introduced their new chief people officer, the first one ever, right? So it's like, clearly, okay, this is becoming a thing now. And so now I'm doing research about this chief people officer thing and realizing, okay, it's a real position. I didn't just make it up, right? I'm thinking I just made it up. No, this is a real thing. And what I learned was that after COVID, a lot of companies realized that, oh no, like we need to be able to be better at retaining our people, because we think that people got to, you know, come to work. This is that. What happens when they get to stay at home and really decide if they want to be here or not? Do they really want to still be a part of this culture and a part of what I'm doing and what I'm building? And the answer for a lot of those companies was no, right? And so I got really, really just interested and realized like, yo, like I'm committed to people, building a community for TaxxWiz, building people who want to be here and grow with us for the long term, right? Talent development. I'm really big on that. And so that's the benefit of having a chief people officer who's specifically dedicated to the people that are in your community, a part of your company, the well-being. Like I spend most of my time praying with these people. You know what I'm saying? Because again, if I could change your mind, I could change your life.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so that's kind of like that developmental piece. And then also obviously being able to teach these people also, okay, well, here's a quick sales hack. Here's a quick tip on when you're dealing with clients. This is what you do. This is what you say, you know, so on and so forth. And so it's just really all centered around the purpose of your business. Can you really not only cast a vision, but then create vision carriers? Because if I'm the only one that knows the vision of my company, I'm not doing too well. But if I can get everybody in my company to cast the vision of my company because I built the people, then I'm doing great. Because I tell people all the time, I stopped building businesses a long time ago. I build people. Because I build people, guess what the people do? They go build a business.
Like this. No, I love it. Oh man, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's been a pleasure talking to you. It's just so fulfilling to hear about what you guys are doing over at TaxxWiz. Like I said, we got a link some way, form, and fast. We got to do something together to just share the word. Like for us, we just really want to spread as much we can about you guys and what you're doing. People need to know, especially people who look like us. They need to hear your story and see you all. So if people want to find you, can you give us social? How do they find you guys? Find your website and all this good stuff.
Absolutely. Everything is at TaxxWiz on Instagram, you know, TikTok, TaxxWiz, and then our website is, you know, www.taxxwiz.com. Okay. If you want to get your taxes done, go to the website. We can go ahead and lock you in, get it done. Follow us on Instagram. Let us know that you saw us right here on this show, and we're going to make sure we take care of you.
That's what I'm talking about. See, that's what we do here, Bob. We bring you amazing Black-owned businesses, man. Black excellence in its best. And so we're thankful to have Bre participate on the podcast for me today. So you know how to find Let Bob always. We are Let Bob on all social media. You can find myself personally. I am Let Bob. Remember, if you haven't downloaded the Let Bob Robo-Advisor app, please go on the Google Play Store or the App Store and get it today and start your stock ownership journey. Thank you, Bre, for joining us, and we are out.